right, so I've got some of the people from Arc Dynamics with me today. We're going to be talking about the new PDK, and the PDK starts at $3,500 first and foremost, which is absolutely wild for anything that is a 6DOF system. There is a really cool concept that they're using here, and the way that I like to try to explain it is, imagine if you were sitting on an exercise ball and then somebody grabbed each of your arms and started yanking you around in space. They're effectively floating you in space on a table and then using the same technology that's in a direct drive motor, the thing that gives you that level of fidelity on a 21-bit encoder, and then using that to move you at sub-millisecond response rates. I've got with me Lewis here. Lewis, of course, is one of the head technical people here, and he can tell you a lot about all the different things that we've got in this unit. Now, Lewis, of course, obviously this is something that's really novel. We haven't seen anything like this on the market previously, but tell me a little bit about some of the specs of the motors and some of the stuff that you guys have got as far as that. How have you guys developed the motors?
Okay, so the motors originally literally started off by taking second-hand hoverboards, old hoverboards that have been trashed because the batteries have been taking those apart, using those exact motors on a frame, and then testing the whole concept, right? So the first thing was, do we have enough power to lift ourselves without any pneumatic assistance? That test proved positive, and we could actually do X, Y, Z, rolls, everything. But for limited time until the motors were starting to overheat, you were using a hell of a lot of power just to lift any mass, right? So once the compensation came into play, we started with higher pressures. We were using a fridge compressor at the time, and we were going up to like 18 bars to use the small gas struts that we had started with. Then we went on to the industrial pneumatics, and we modified those with the factory with the ballast tanks at the back, right? That gives us the ability to travel the span of the piston with minimal change in actual spring effect. So the way I like to call them, they're like programmable springs, right? But with precision to milliamps of the motor. When you're sitting on there, no matter how much mass you have on there, with an L limits, let's be fair, all right? Which is
225 kilos, was it?
250 kilos is what we say. It can handle more, but I'm just keeping things sane for now until more people have a chance to work in the development with it, and that's what we're trying to do, is attract as many developers. Let's make that clear. For us, a gamer is a developer, right? A graphics artist is a developer. The integration we've managed to achieve with the physics to frame ability, so for every frame that you see, we're actually positioning you, and most of the games we actually
feed forward interpolation.
We do interpolation,
yeah.
Right? And it's the interpolation that brings on the energy transfer, the ability to have the control of the backwards and forwards of the vehicle is right there. When you think carefully about the problem at hand, you're not actually moving. But I'm trying to convince you that you are.
Yeah,
but
you're creating a motion opposed to create your brain's association with that movement.
Yeah, but the movement I'm trying to create here, all right, is a very specific forward motion. That's the car moving you forward. But then the most important thing after that is braking, stopping. So there's two contradictory things that I have to do, and the only way to do it right is subtlety, because that's the honest truth. And then when you look at the problem at hand and why something like rally really shines up, it's because we're brilliant at tracking acceleration. It's not that we give you the acceleration, that's easy. And you can see that from our graphs.
Yeah, we'll pull the graphs up here in a little bit.
But it's the fact that we can track the rate of change of acceleration, and when you think about that, then where is the end, right? Where is it that your brain is going to actually say, yeah, and we've seen this with 1,000 people. You get in there, it's instantaneous because we're in the subconscious, right? You actually access the subconscious at this point, and you don't have a choice. You're not going to crash because you don't want to. You see it.
Yeah, and I feel that all the time in my 6DOF that I'm going to be racing lap. If I'm about to hit something, I say oof, I say ow, even before it's even happened or even afterwards, just because I know that there's that movement that's going to happen within my rig. So, and that all, of course, is powered by something that is moving so fast with this. But, and of course, the other concern is longevity. If we have something that fails with this, how are you guys able to troubleshoot that today?
Okay, so that's the brilliance of going with open source in the first place, right? So by using something like ODrive, which is the core motive part of this design, the motors are driven by ODrive. ODrive is an open source project, right? So we're still discussing if we're going to fork, if we're going to go, that's a different story. But we will keep the motor controller part open, right? At the same time, safety and for online business, and in order to keep our ecosystem
To protect the IP.
we will have a specific path and choice for our users, be within our family, and we will take care of all the safety features, all of that. If you want to tinker, you're free to do so. I'll be a part of you to do that. That's the whole purpose of using open source, working with open source, right? To give that ability.
Yeah, and when I was talking to Bobby earlier, what he said is that all of the components are more or less online. You guys are able to actually look into each individual component, diagnose it potentially, and then of course it's meant to be modular. So those. Yeah. So if we look up here, we've got their custom motherboard that they developed.
So, and by using again the core processing and development, makes it easier. I'm not sure we're going to go with it. We know when we public, but we will give enough information for the system to operate, and then you take that. That's the open side, and we carry on with all the developers who want to be inside of the closed network. Closed network gives you a lot of abilities, right? Virtualizing. One thing we've seen, which we're dreaming for, is live telemetry. Right, so drone safaris.
Oh,
I want
doing FPVs and stuff like that.
Yes, right. We've done it. It's an amazing experience. You are in the drone. Right? When you, so this is basic things that we did for research. Neurologically, deaf people were tested to go up to about 400 to 450 hertz. So your body can distinguish all the way up to like 450 hertz when it comes to the vibrational transfer of skin, threading. But that is like a cat, right? And the system exceeds it. We drive, we peak it a bit, right? I'm currently running them at like 900, 963 hertz, all right? The motion queuing is sending from that processor to the housekeeping processor, two processors, one handling the data, the other one handling the machine, the housekeeping. That's a 3 difference bandwidth between the two. And then the limit, which is a fair limit, by the way, you don't really want to go much above that. It starts getting very kicky when you start going above 1,000 hertz. Response time. And the motors are happy to do that, right? Because the main thing that we've got limits right now is the processing speed of some motors, which it's an old design. Right? We're using 3.6, just upgrading the processor will instantaneously give us a specification at sub-millisecond response time, plus a much higher frequency response.
And that just comes from the fact that you guys started off using PT kind of as your base design to kind of work from, and then move from that.
So,
and of course, I've got you looking at SimHub now too, so
yes,
Lord knows what we might see next out of this.